Welcome to the Instagram Stories. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. Today we're continuing the article 8 Ingenious Things You Didn't Know You Could Do on Instagram. Hopefully you knew most of them because you've been listening to this show for a while, but in case you did not, let's continue with number 5, something I actually talked about recently. Pin positive comments to the top of your posts. You can pin up to 3 comments to the top of any of your posts in order to, in Instagram's own words, highlight positivity. To do this, you view the post comments, then you either tap and hold if you're on Android or swipe left on the comment if you are on iOS and tap the pin icon to move it to the top of the list. The good part of this is that when you pin a comment, the person who wrote the comment will get a notification. That's the best part about it. Number 6, mass unfollow inactive accounts. So this is not the best description of what this tip actually refers to, but here's what it's talking about. If you go to your own profile page and then you tap on the following button in the top right, you'll see a list of clickable accounts, and you'll also see something that says least interacted with. This gives you the ability to review accounts you have interacted with the least in the last 60 days, meaning not liking their posts or reacting to their stories. You can unfollow each of those accounts. Just as a reminder, the heading for this section was mass unfollow inactive accounts, which is not the same thing as what this tip is actually describing, but I do think it's important to unfollow accounts that you interact with very infrequently. As a reminder, I recommend following under 500 accounts. Tip number 7, save the catchy Reels soundtrack. If you hear music or audio on an Instagram Reels clip that you really like, tap on it and then you will see a button at the top that says save audio, and this way you can save it for future Reels that you want to make. To access your saved clips, go to your profile, click on the 3 horizontal lines at the top right, go to saved, and you can see any audio that you've saved in a separate audio collections folder. I'm just going to say that I don't really think that's the best strategy. What I do is I actually save the Reels or the TikToks, and this way when I go back and I look, I see what it was that inspired me, and then I can always tap on the music later to use that audio if I want to. But I think it's most important to save the inspiration, not just save the clip. But either way works. And the last tip, which is iOS only, this does not work on Android, annoyingly, is that you can add line breaks quickly and easily. So Instagram's default keyboard, if you're commenting on someone else's post, doesn't show the return key. So if you want to add a paragraph or a line break in between, if you hit the number button in the bottom left-hand corner, the number keyboard comes up with the symbols, and in the bottom right corner, you will see a little return button which you can press. That does not work on Android. There is the ability to push return and make new paragraphs in a caption, but not in comments or DMs on Android, which is super annoying, by the way. Now let's get into the Instagram news. Probably should have started with this. Instagram announced that you can now make your story text move. They've added an animate button in Instagram stories. I don't seem to have this button yet. Maybe you do. Check, see if you're able to animate your text within stories. I think it's an interesting way to make your stories potentially a little bit more dynamic. I think we've been accomplishing a lot of things with GIFs, but this is another way to make your story stand out a little bit more. Lastly, if you would like to join our Instagram Creator Hour on Clubhouse, it is going to be Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern. You can find me on Clubhouse at Daniel Hill. If you do not have a Clubhouse invitation, but you want one, I have 5. You must be iPhone only. Send me a direct message at Daniel Hill Media with your cell phone number, and I will get you one of those invitations. Thanks so much for listening, and check for the Clubhouse Instagram Creator Hour tomorrow at 5 p.m.